There are 4 Steiner schools in London, and they're all quite small. And the question of an upper school has been around for a long time, many, many years, and many people have tried to develop one, but it never got off the ground. We started working on it about 6 years ago now, and planning not necessarily where it was going to be, but what it was going to be filled with, what was the content, what kind of education was appropriate for adolescents.
People don't tend to ask questions about how we teach. People are more focused on the results. So they want to know when they come to open days, can the children pass exams? And it's easy to say yes, but for us, what's much more important than that is how we teach it.
We're starting the International Steiner School Certificate now, which will be recognised for university entrance.
There are 3 levels of qualification, one for class 10, one for class 11 and one for class 12. And the students need to gather points across the 1 year, 50 points. And that then gives them, ticks off their numeracy and literacy GCSEs and allows them to progress to level 2, which is class 11. So it allows a Steiner school to deliver a broad wall of education, assess them, and then have equivalency for students to go on into university.
It's also developing their ability to think for themselves. So it's not about memorization and what is the right answer to give for this particular question, but how can you use the knowledge you've gained from all different subjects to feed into your answer for that question.
My main focus is to get the children to think about what I'm teaching them, not to tell them something and get them to remember it, but to have them think, for example, about what's in the Declaration of Independence and why it's there. So I've given them a lot of background about what the world was like. It's what we've been learning for the last few years. What the world was like, how people thought, and how during the Enlightenment people started to question the things that they'd been told and that they wanted to find out for themselves. And the children in class 8, I would call them students in class 8, are at the same sort of stage in their consciousness, and they want to find out things for themselves. They won't necessarily take your word for it anymore.
We've heard from some university professors that the students they're getting now mainly are unprepared for the level of work they need to do in universities because they don't know how to learn. So here we try to give them those skills of how to learn, how to think, how to work independently and be responsible for your education.